And welcome to Rauta's Reviews. Today I present a new band which debut album just got released like a month ago, that is 1st of April 2018. So let's take a look at this Greek band. Now I'm not sure about the pronunciation of the album name, but let's start with the band name Yovel. And this album name, if I would pronounce it in a kind of a Icelandic way, because there's an Icelandic alphabet, I would say it's something like Hɪðə଼tu, but that might go totally wrong because, for example, in Faroe Islands the same letter is kind of like a silent one. So without further ado, let's take a look at this album. So here's the album name, as you can see, and this is the Yovel debut album. Now when I got the letter with the CD, it said that Yovel means also like escaping the loop, end of something, and also breaking the rock. So that's what we have here. So inside, more on the same. This is actually CDR, if you're figuring out. So not just a proper typical CD. And this is, I guess, self-financed, at least when it comes to the lack of label information here or anything that sort. And there's not much to be seen really. It's just blank white. And here's the track list. So as you can see, 7 songs on an album which is 40 something minutes. Inside, very simple booklet, which kind of a down to earth kind of a vibe with colors and whatnot. To be honest, I took a little bit of glance on these lyrics and they sound a little bit awkward. Like, look at the song here, Too Late Capitalism. And not only there's talk about, Nazi God, but also some weird talk samples, which I'm not actually sure what kind of point they're trying to make. Maybe just make the whole world guilty of National Socialism back in the 1940s. But I really don't know. I couldn't figure out what was the point there. But those samples are worth mentioning because they actually take quite a bit of time and space on this album, and that's one of the problematic parts. No, I'm not talking about the speeches as such. I'm not, I don't have any opinion about their content, because to me they kind of felt, I don't know, meaningless. But considering they take quite a bit of time out of music, and that made this album sound a little bit, well, not good. So Yovel is music-wise kind of a modern black metal. There are clearly some reminiscent of 1990s Nordic black metal. Some of the riffs and even production, not to mention the kind of typical black metal vocals, are all there. So when the band actually managed to, to kind of get its engines rolling, they actually do it quite well. Kind of a Nordic black metal vibe, but also, I think what the Greeks did already early 90s. Think of bands like Rauta and the like. I mean, they had this solid black metal scene going on back in the days, and I still think they have nowadays. Of course, nowadays it's different bands and whatever. But the thing is, Yovel is not very consistent in what they are doing. Like, for example, while some parts of their, with very good riffs and, there's kind of a fast tempo, aggressiveness and all that stuff, some points are just, kind of electric guitars without any shredding effect or anything like that. So kind of like a semi-acoustic sound. But it's not like those song structures are very well thought of. It's like randomly, going for these fast-paced black metal riffing to these kind of intermezzo-like things, which are then again backed up with these speech samples, which are very often way too lengthy for their own good. So what this album has a problem, in my opinion, is the kind of a rhythmics-wise. I mean, it doesn't make really sense. It's just like we should have an intro here, then we do a song, and then an intermezzo, another song, and all that stuff. But I mean, it's kind of like starts within a speech, then starts some black metal, then more black metal, and then suddenly there's like this over lengthy speed sample part with, you know, and not much else happening really, and then suddenly it's all again, you know, going kind of like fast-paced black metal. And yet again, some of those riffs are really good in my opinion. Maybe not the top A-class thing, you know, when thinking, you know, 90s Norwegian black metal cornerstone albums. Not that good, but nevertheless quite good. But the fact that this album is very, how to put it, in a way it's not very well balanced. And this imbalance makes it kind of a, I don't know, very hard to enjoy properly. To me it sounds like half of the material is something that is actually ruining the rest of the album. So while it's certainly having those good moments, then again these really meaningless moments kind of draw the whole atmosphere down. I mean, it's kind of a really weird mix in a way, kind of like feeling pointless at some zones on this album. And I mean, a different structure would probably have saved a lot, but now it feels that the guys or guy behind the band, I don't know actually what the consistent of the lineup here is. I mean, they could have, you know, shifted here ideas back and forth and tried different versions. If they did, and this is the outcome, I don't know what else to say, but maybe next time it's gonna be better. I mean, like production-wise, and you know, those vocals, just so many good stuff here that it feels so kind of pathetic or sad that it's kind of ruining the rest of the album. And it really gives me these kind of mixed vibes. So good ideas and bad ideas, then some mediocre ones, result, in my opinion, a kind of a mediocre plus album. So I find this very hard to recommend, even though there are these good parts. So yet again, one of those albums that maybe you want to check out for yourself. But then again, if you're busy like me with the consistent flow of albums going all around, maybe you will give this one a pass. I don't know, really weird case in so many ways, and I find it kind of hard to even review because this is not a typical one. And what can I say? Looking forward to hear where this band is going to evolve, because it certainly had these good ideas, but then again, I'm not expecting too much in the future. I don't know, debut album out and EP in 2017, so very fresh one. There's lots of ways this band can go and evolve. Let's just hope it's not regression, but rather progression. So, go check it out if you think it's worth your time. Otherwise, let's move on and see you again with yet another Rauta review. See you soon. Bye.